Hi everyone, I'm Olivia. I'm interning for the Counseling Services Center this semester, and today I'm going to be giving you tips on how to manage your time being a student athlete. So, the first tip I can give is try to schedule your classes around your practice times because you don't want to have to miss class because you practice or a game, or you don't want to have to miss practice because of your class. So if you can, schedule your classes in the morning because then you have the afternoon free to do whatever you want. And then you don't have to worry about missing practice. And also because if you have to miss class because of a game, um, then you won't end up possibly falling behind and having to make up an exam or something that you missed. So if you can, try to schedule your classes in the mornings. I know sometimes it can be hard because certain classes are only offered at certain times. So, but do your best to schedule your classes in the mornings or so that they don't interfere with practice times. Next is to prioritize your practices. Some days you might feel like you don't want to go to practice, you're not in the mood, you just don't want to. But in order to see results in a game or a match, you have to put in the work at practice. So just keep that in mind whenever you're thinking about whether you want to go to practice or not. Next is to use a planner or a calendar to keep track of everything. I used to try to keep track of assignments and stuff in my head, and then eventually I had to start using a planner, and it made things so much easier. Just because with practice times, game times, all your classes you're taking, it's just hard to remember all that in your head. So it's best to write it down. And using a planner is the perfect way to keep track of due dates that are weeks away or upcoming due dates that you need to recognize that are coming up soon and that you can get a head start when you want to if you have time. Um, if you aren't able to have access to a planner or you're not with your planner or something, just finding a piece of paper, writing it down, holding on to it, or putting it in your notes on your phone, or there's a reminders app that you can do. So there's many ways to keep track of everything. Next, you can make a to-do list. You could do a weekly to-do list or a daily one. And pretty much what it is what it sounds like. You can, at the beginning of the week, you can make a list of everything you want to get done that week, or make a list at the beginning of the day on what you want to get done that day. And if you have a lot of things to do in one day or a week, you can, and it might get too overwhelming, you can break them up into what is most important and what is least important. So do the most important things first and then leave the least important things to do once your important things are done. Um, and then that also goes along with completing stuff in chronological order. So it that can help avoid homework buildup and assignment buildup because that's just going to overwhelm you. So it's best to just get things done the sooner. That way you don't have to worry about it. It's also great to begin studying in advance because that helps give you more time to learn the material and understand it. And it also prevents you from pulling an all-nighter the night before an exam to try and cram all this information, which also goes into sleeping. So if you're pulling an all-nighter, you're going to be tired the next day, which can increase the chances of you oversleeping and missing the exam or dozing off during the exam. And with the whole time management, it's also good to maintain a constant sleep schedule because that also helps keep your schedule constant. So It's also good because it helps improve academic and athletic performance, and it's also good for helping recovery and injury prevention. So, which is good for athletes because you need your sleep, because that's good for resting and taking time off of your body from working hard. Also, don't take on too many responsibilities. If you know your schedule and you're familiar with what you're doing and you think you can add more to it, then that's okay. But if you already think you have an overwhelming schedule and you don't feel like you can handle anything else, try not to add anything to it. So yeah, that's important because you don't want to overwhelm yourself with too much work. Also, it's good to give yourself breaks because your body just needs breaks. It's a necessity. So giving yourself study breaks or just breaks throughout the day when you're going from one thing to another is great. Do whatever you want on your breaks. And some other tips are to look for areas of your day when you're just like sitting around doing nothing and try to think if, or look in your planner and see if there's something you could be working on that you can just do and get out of the way, just to fill up that wasted time. It's also good to complete your assignments on your own instead of in groups, because I know for me, if I'm in a group of people, I'm going to get easily distracted and not get my assignment done. So it's best for me to do my stuff by myself, distraction free. Also with distractions, if you need to, put your phone on do not disturb, and or if it's too tempting just sitting by you, you can also put it in a desk drawer or put it in the room next to you or something. And if you know you're going to have a super busy day and you don't have time for anything, and somebody asks you to do something, you're allowed to tell them no. And because you have a busy day and you just don't think you can add anything else onto it. If you know you have stuff you need to get done, it's probably in your best interest to tell them no. When planning out your assignments to do, try to give yourself time limits on how long it's going to take you to do those things. So if you have an idea of how long it should take you to do an assignment or whatever, try to give yourself a time limit so you can keep an easier flow of your schedule. And it's also important to cut yourself some slack with your schedule, because if you don't feel like your schedule is working for you, you don't have to get too overwhelmed. You can just adjust it and think of a different routine that you can follow and see if that helps you. Those are all my tips and advice I have for time management. If you are still struggling with time management and you need some more advice on it, you can go to counseling services. They are located on the bottom floor of Palmer. And if you need to make an appointment, you can stop in and make one. You can call counseling services or you can email. All of that information is listed on D2L and is also posted on the Lock Haven website. So yeah, if you have any other questions, you can reach out to counseling services. Thank you guys for watching.